Welcome everybody to the channel's second video. I'd like to thank myself for creating a new Google account and subscribing to myself and becoming my first official sub. Things have been rough. Also, thank you to everyone who watched my previous video. 92 viewers. Wow. But in all seriousness, today's topic will be about a certain politician who has been gaining track online recently. That's right, we are going to talk about everyone's favorite mayor from New York, Zohran Mamdani. So, if you haven't been online recently, Zohran Mamdani is the current leading candidate for the mayoral elections of the Big Apple, otherwise known as New York. Today we will be talking about his race against the opposition, his methods to reach out to the people of New York, what he has promised to the city, and so much more. Zohran Mamdani is a 33-year-old Democratic member who was born into an Indian family in Uganda and moved to New York when he was 7. He has a bachelor's in Africana Studies and from Bowdoin College. He ran for a position at the New York State Assembly back in 2020 and won back-to-back-to-back until 2025, where he announced he would be running for mayor. You'll probably recognize him by this clip.
Visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, two of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
You need to leave. It's disgusting.
This incident has sparked support worldwide, which has boosted his campaign tremendously. Chapter 2. During his campaign, Mr. Mamdani has mainly promised 2 things. 1, to freeze the rent. 2, to make transportation free. He also supports other movements like universal childcare and the construction of hundreds of thousands of new affordable housing units. Mamdani has used social media to his competitive advantage. He's posted numerous videos on platforms like TikTok and Instagram and has gained millions of eyes and has gained support worldwide. Here is a clip of one of his videos.
I'm about to say something to you you've never heard a politician say. Please stop sending us money. Thanks to the close to 18,000 of you that have donated to our campaign, we've now raised the maximum amount of money we can spend in this race, $8 million. This means we have the money to be on TV, in your mailbox, on your phone. But there's one more place we need to be, your block. That's why I'm putting out the call to New Yorkers. Assemble! We want to create the single largest volunteer operation in New York City history, and we need your help. So join the more than 7,000 New Yorkers already knocking on doors and sign up to Canvas at zohranfornyc.com/events.
I'd recommend checking out his channel if you want to see more. Some people say that the majority of his support lies outside of the city. Well, I can't exactly fact-check this. I have found some sources saying that donations suggest that he is more supported by the city than other candidates. But the actual question is, are his promises even possible? First, to freeze the rent. But this is what Mamdani has to say.
You're running a very policy-heavy campaign, progressive policies. You've taken hits for that. New York Times, not just Cuomo, the New York Times did an editorial in which they said they went after a bunch of your policies. I want to read one line out from their editorial.
Please.
It said he favors rent freezes that could restrict housing supply and make it harder for younger New Yorkers and new arrivals to afford housing. What would you say to people who argue that rent control would be economically harmful?
What I would say is that about 2.5 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized housing right now. They have a median household income of about $60,000 a year, and the profits of their landlords increased in this last year by 12%. There is clearly room for relief for those very tenants who are on the precipice of being pushed out of their own city. And it's ironic to hear the New York Times editorial board say that when in so many of their articles on the news side, as they profile New Yorkers who have grown old in this city and the lives that they have lived, there tends to always be a sentence that ascribes their ability to stay in this city as to the fact that they live in a rent-stabilized unit, that they have some level of predictability as to how much their rent will increase on an annual basis. And we've seen the previous mayor freeze the rent 3 times for rent-stabilized tenants, and we are still here. And ultimately, this is not the entirety of our housing vision. It's one part that is coupled with increasing supply across the 5 boroughs and making it easier to build across the city.
While this seems like a great idea, there is some pushback from news outlets. An article written by the City Journal states the following. Bear with me, please. Under New York law, the mayor has no power to regulate rents. Legal authority over rent adjustments is vested in the city's Rent Guidelines Board, RGB, an independent administrative body set up under the rent stabilization law. The board consists of 9 members, all appointed by the mayor, who is required to name 2 members to represent tenants' interests and 2 members to represent landlords' interests. The remaining 5 members are charged with representing the public's best interest. With the exception of the chair of the board, whom the mayor can remove at any time, the members serve for fixed terms. He, Mamdani, has pledged to appoint board members who agree that rents should not increase for 4 years. But board members are not permitted to make such overt or implied promises. Link to the article will be in the description. But what about free transportation? Here is a video posted by Mamdani on his YouTube account.
Take it in. A true icon of New York, the Staten Island Ferry. The Staten Island Ferry is a beacon on the waters of New York City, shuttling about 45,000 people a day. And the best part? It's free. For decades after opening in 1898, the Staten Island Ferry was just a nickel. Then, in the 1970s, the fare rose to a quarter, and in 1990, 50 cents. But since 1997, the ferry's been free, and New Yorkers have come to know it as a dependable means of transit. And it's the best way to see the Statue of Liberty. So when people say buses can never be free, don't ask them to take a hike, ask them to take the ferry. On June 24th, let's get some more free transit.
What do you guys think? Please have discussions in the comments to state your views on the matter, even better if you are from New York. Discussions like these help broaden your awareness and share your viewpoint with the world. Now, let's look at his competition. His main opponent was Andrew Cuomo, an independent politician who has received financial support by large donations like large super PAC spending and public donations. You can see here that Mamdani has received the most public funding and reached the spending limit for the race. This is what Cuomo has to say about Zohran.
Hello, I'm Andrew Cuomo. And unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped. To the 440,000 New Yorkers who voted for me, a sincere thank you. Thank you for believing in me, in my agenda, and in my experience. And I am truly sorry that I let you down. But as my grandfather used to say, when you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game, and that is what I'm going to do. The fight to save our city isn't over. Only 13% of New Yorkers voted in the June primary. The general election is in November, and I am in it to win it. My opponent, Mr. Mamdani, offers slick slogans, but no real solutions. For the next few months, it's my responsibility to earn your vote. So let's do this. I'll see you out there.
As said in the video, the main election will be held in November. But what are Cuomo's policies? His main focus are on education, childcare, affordability, public safety, subway safety, housing, homelessness, combating anti-Semitism, and other issues. The link to his methods will be in the description. While Mr. Cuomo does have a YouTube channel, he hasn't posted in 4 years. Well, that's all, folks. Let me know what you guys want for the next video, and I'll work on it. Please subscribe and discuss your thoughts on the video. I'm currently working on a talk about immigration, issues, and solutions, a breakdown of the European political system, the Parliament, Commission, and Council, and a breakdown of Sochu. If you don't know what that is, make sure to subscribe to hear me talk about it. Finally, I was thinking of giving a summary of Trump's presidency. Thank you and goodbye.